Well, greetings and good morning, BUS22 students. This is Mr. Doucette. Once again, this is week number 7 in our 8-week course in managerial communications, Business 22, here at Norco College. And this week, you're going to be looking at reports and proposals, kind of starting to look at that. We'll kind of finish that a little bit next week. So you're going to be looking at what a report and a proposal should look like and what are they for, how are they utilized in business. You'll be looking at analytical reports versus informational reports, etc. So these are very important chapters. Typically, I used to actually have you write a report or a proposal in this class, but because it's the 8-week version, I kind of simplified it a little bit and just gave you your resume as the last item. And you'll be looking at resumes and employment communications next week. But I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen here. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen in Canvas. And again, we're down to the last 2 weeks of class. So you have this week and next. And that means we're entering into our third and final module today. The first two modules were both 3 weeks long. This last one is only 2 weeks long. And the focus here is really what we call employment communication. So writing your resume is really what we're going to be talking about, as well as some interview questions and things like that. So here's the assignments for this week. There's a PowerPoint for each of the two chapters. You're going to be starting your final discussion post, which is career planning and job searching. So what you're going to do, and this is very important, is you're going to actually be selecting or searching for 3 jobs, and then you're going to select one of those jobs to write your resume for, and you're going to start writing your resume this week as well. So keep that in mind. You must really do this discussion post first, at least get your initial post done. That way you have the resources you need to write your resume. And I believe there's also some interviewing questions and things like that on that discussion post assignment. And then you want to also make sure you comment on other students between this week and next. There's a check-in assignment on chapter 7 with some questions from both of those two chapters, a quiz as well, and then you have your writing assignment. Now, I do give you 2 weeks. Well, it's not quite 2 weeks, but roughly 2 weeks to complete your resume. So you'll be starting it this week. You'll be finishing it next week, which is the last week of class. And just so you know, the last week of class does end on Friday, not Sunday. So everything needs to be turned in by Friday, including your resume. So you have a little bit less than 2 weeks. But go ahead and get started on that this week and definitely pick one of the jobs. You need to tailor your resume to that job. And that's a very critical item when it comes to resume writing. You really can't do a generic resume anymore like we used to do 20, 30 years ago. You really need to tailor each resume specifically to the job that you're applying for and utilizing some of the terminology, utilizing the skills and talents that they're looking for, kind of highlight those in your resume if you have them, and that makes you a little more sellable. And especially if they're going to be using any kind of scanning software to scan your resume, you want to make sure you're using keywords in your resume that will be flagged by that software, etc. So that's what we'll be looking at this week. So make sure you read the chapters. If you want to read ahead into chapters 15 and 16 just to get an idea of what a resume should look like and how what sections should be in it, please feel free to do that. But you'll be doing that next week. And then you have, again, your writing assignment. Next week, we'll be doing 2 more chapters. I wish I could say that it was only finals week, but in an 8-week online class, we still have instruction. But you do have a final, and it's due next a week from this Sunday, so the 19th of December. It's cumulative, so it'll be taking questions from all of the chapters, kind of the highlights. And there's also some writing assignments in it. There's also some matching assignments, etc. There's some sentence rewrites. So be prepared. Make sure you give yourself plenty of time. And I'll be doing a video again next week and going over that in a lot more detail. So that's pretty much it for week number 7. If you have any questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. My office hours is mentioned on the home page. You can select that link. It'll tell you when you can meet with me. If not, you can also email me. We can work that way as well. But have a great week, and you'll see me on video again next week.